because we have a manager here, let's not forget, who signed a new contract extension to 2020 in January.
Well, not just because of yesterday. I'm not, a big knee-jerk reaction because Man United lost the game away from home. But what's happened in the summer, if performances like that continue, I don't think Jose Mourinho will be manager of Man United next season. He may not be manager at some time this season. But I think there'll be coaches up and down the country looking at Mourinho, what he said in the summer about bringing players in, centre-back. And he spent 30 million on 2 of them. And he had 2 England internationals in Jones and Smalling. They might be saying, coach them, make them better. But for almost every coach, I'd say, yeah, that'd be right. But not Mourinho. And I'll tell you why. Mourinho's a manager for today, not tomorrow. And Ed Woodward brought him in, and he knew that. Because Manchester United messed up with 2 appointments beforehand. So the Man United traditions have gone out the window. When you get Mourinho, it's all about winning right now. That's why he's bought Zlatan, Sanchez, Matic. That's why he's looking for centre-halves who are 29, 30. Now, you can't pull the plug on him and say, OK, we're going to go the Man United way again, or buying younger players. You've got the right manager. If you're going to do that, you might as well get rid of him. There's no point. So my problem is they should have backed him with what he wanted, because no one's enjoying watching that. Mourinho, the people in the stands watching the centre-backs perform like that. You can't have that for the rest of the season. So that's why he should have been backed, and that's why he is slightly different from other people, and his record deserves that you have to back him in that position, and you knew that when he come, he wasn't a traditional Manchester United manager, and as I said, I don't see it lasting into next season.
Well, Jamie raises the point. Does he survive this season?
I can't disagree with the word that he's just said. It's painful to think how it's played out this last 5 or 6 years. If Ed Woodward was going to doubt Jose Mourinho, the time to doubt him was at the point whereby he should have said, I'm not giving you a new contract last January. The minute that he gave him a Jose Mourinho contract extension, which was, some would say unnecessary at the part way through a season, but believing in the manager, showing the faith, he had to then buy him the centre-backs. He had to get him Maguire, he had to get him Alderweireld, because they wouldn't have made those mistakes yesterday. And irrespective of the manager of Manchester United need new centre-backs. So whether... My view is that Alderweireld and Maguire would have been good options. If it costs 120 million to bring them in, that's what you have to do when you're backing Jose Mourinho. If you back him, if you're doubting him, the time to doubt him was last January and say, no, let's see how you do at the end of the season. Let's see, you'd have 9 months to run now. And I look at it from a sort of board perspective, and it's been messy this last couple of weeks. When I think of the briefing, which is now a well-told story that Ed Woodward would give journalists the day before the Leicester game, undermines Jose Mourinho. There's no doubt about that. And Jose Mourinho knows that, and he isn't going to take any messing off anybody. And then you think, yes...
That was the point, sorry, that was the point on he wasn't going to spend any more money.
He wasn't going to spend any more money. This is why we didn't sign these 3 centre-backs. This is why we didn't support Jose in the transfer market, trying to justify to the media why he's not backed his manager. It's too late for that. You've given him a contract extension, back him to the end. My view would be he's got to stay to the very end of that contract and be back to the end of that contract if you're going to give a contract extension as the CEO of the club. The CEO of the football club yesterday sat in his spot for 2 minutes after the game in what I can only describe as something that I don't want to see the CEO of Manchester United do. At the end of the game, stand up, go and shake the opposition CEO's hand, tell him well done, tell him you'll see him later on in the season, smile, be bigger than anything, and get into the back of the club. All I could see that, to me, was, yeah, it was a show of frustration, but could also be interpreted as another show of dissent. And at the moment, there is definitely an angst there between the club, between Jose. Jose announced a week last Friday on our show, in an interview, that he might as well now just be called a head coach. What he was generally saying to us is basically, I'm just giving the players that I'm told to work with now. And yeah, don't get me wrong, the club have supported Jose Mourinho and given him a lot of money, but you can't go half roads. The analogy I used a week last Friday was, don't 3/4 build a house, you've got to finish it. And they had to finish it if they were going to give that contract extension in January.
Well, the point on Woodward then, because you've had your say on Jose Mourinho, but how does Ed Woodward come out of this well? Well,
Ed Woodward's job is to deliver profits off the pitch and profits on the pitch. Profit on the pitch is performance and trophies and league titles and Champions Leagues. My view is quite simply the club are delivering off the field. Ed Woodward's done an incredible job at the club in terms of the commercial operation, the way in which the club makes an operating profit, but there is no doubt he should put a footballing structure underneath him that is extremely serious, that can go and now deliver for him. The club, football's changed. Gone are the days of sort of, if you like, chairman and manager. There are head of recruitments, there are sporting directors, there is a series of people who are serious people in many football clubs now, the best operating football clubs in the world. Bayern Munich's this world. I'll put Manchester City in that, unfortunately. Now, I think their operating structure is fantastic. The people are there are fantastic. Manchester United now have to do the same. And I think Ed Woodward then can sit there as the CEO of the football club, or vice chairman, I don't know what the current title is, and say, basically, that's the football side. There's the commercial operations side, and I'll make sure I deliver profit on the pitch and profit off the pitch.
So United need to mirror what Manchester City are doing. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they need serious football people to be able to guide the club. What Manchester United has been doing for the last 5 or 6 years is basically bouncing from one strategy to another. Jamie's absolutely right. Traditions were out of the window 4 years ago. The minute they sacked David Moyes halfway through the season, Louis van Gaal after an FA Cup win, appointed Jose Mourinho, the old traditions of Manchester United have gone. You're now in a mode of modern football, so adapt to modern structure. If you wanted an old style of principle of Manchester United, which was basically, we're going to be patient, we're going to give a manager an opportunity over 3 or 4 seasons, we're not going to rush things, maybe you could work with a sort of, if you like, more traditional structure. The way that Manchester United are trying to operate now, which is to spend serious money every year of the club's money, 200 million a season, 150 million a season, you need serious people that you can trust that will spend that money for you.